How much are you looking to get out of it?
I'm trying to get $225,000 out of it.
You want to see another magic trick? This is me disappearing.
Rick Harrison has built a reputation as one of the sharpest negotiators on Pawn Stars, but even he isn't immune to making a few cringe-worthy mistakes. Whether he got duped by a clever scam or made a deal he instantly regretted, these moments are the most embarrassing missteps of Rick's career caught on camera for the world to see.
A local magician that I've actually known for a couple years recently contacted me saying he wants to sell his Mercedes Gullwing that was previously owned by Vegas legend Siegfried and Roy.
That explains why Rick referred to him as a magician. The guy really knows how to make an entrance. Now Rick has known this local magician for quite some time. Today, the magician rolls up in something that's far more jaw-dropping than a rabbit in a hat, a sleek Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG Gullwing coupe. And not just any model, this one used to belong to the iconic Vegas duo Siegfried and Roy. Rick grabs Corey, and together they head outside. The moment Rick lays eyes on the car, he's blown away. It's an absolute beauty.
It's an amazing car. Siegfried and Roy, they were Las Vegas legends. The two of them met in the 1950s on a cruise ship, started doing the magic shows and the circuits. Nothing big.
Turns out Siegfried and Roy weren't just stage legends, they were also business titans. Corey shares that the duo signed an exclusive performance deal with Steve Wynn to perform at the Mirage in Las Vegas. That deal alone earned them over $57 million. Yep, you read that right, $57 million. They clearly weren't just good at entertaining, they were masters of the Vegas hustle. So now, with one of their luxury rides hitting the market, you better believe it's not going to come cheap. This is a piece of entertainment history sitting on wheels.
So why Siegfried and Roy? I mean, you a big fan of them or something like that?
Well, I'm a magician myself, as you know, and as a kid, they actually gave me advice and mentored me. So when they passed away, I thought it would be really cool to have something of theirs.
And you're looking to sell it now?
Yeah, you know, the problem is I'm a tall guy, I'm 6'6", so I don't fit in the car.
I mean, I'd vanish too if I heard that price tag. The magician says he wants $225,000 for the car, and that number alone is enough to make most buyers run for cover. That's not just expensive, that's investment level money. When Rick asks why he's selling, the magician admits it's nothing more than a comfort issue. He's tall, and the car just doesn't work for him anymore. Rick and Corey brace themselves as he throws out the asking price, and you can practically see the chills run down their spines. Will they actually go for it?
It's not for us, but all the luck in the world to it. I mean, with your magician skills, you know, you can use some trickery and someone will buy it.
We'll make an appearance on this driveway.
Somebody will have to have it, man.
A customer reaches out and says he's got a broom handle Mauser pistol that he's looking to sell. Of course, Rick isn't going to ignore a call like that. Anytime historical weapons come up, you already know his curiosity kicks in. The seller even adds that he's open to testing the weapon, which is enough to get Rick fully on board. So, Rick agrees to meet the guy at a firing range to find out if this firearm is worth the buzz.
You must be Mike.
Hey Rick, how's it going today?
All right, broom handle Mauser, right? Do you mind?
Oh, please, check it out.
It's been a long time since I've seen one of these. That should pop open and
There it is.
there we go. This is one of the world's first semi-automatic handguns.
The moment you lay eyes on this gun, one thing is obvious. It looks like it came straight out of a war zone. In fact, it looks like it might have seen some real action during World War II. It's got that old, weathered look, but surprisingly, it's still in very solid shape. The seller reveals it's a hybrid, working as both a pistol and a rifle. That alone gives it a cool factor. With something this rare and in such great condition, it's a no-brainer that the seller's going to want some serious cash for it.
The 1890s was a big deal, but the amazing part is you have this. It transforms from a holster to a stock. Most of the guys threw these away, so these are way more rare than the guns are.
Just as expected, this seller is shooting high, no pun intended. He tells Rick that if the pistol turns out to be legit, he's looking for a cool $9,000. That number leaves Rick momentarily speechless. That's no small chunk of change. But then again, this isn't your run-of-the-mill item. It's an antique firearm with historical value. And as any serious collector knows, weapons like this one can fetch top dollar in the right circles. The question now is, does this pistol really have that kind of value?
I mean, how much were you looking to get out of it?
Well, if it's the real thing that I'm hoping for, I'm hoping to get about $9,000 out of it today.
Okay, so have you ever looked up the serial number and figured out the year on it?
Rick then asks the obvious question, did the seller check the serial number? The guy says he did, and according to his research, the pistol dates all the way back to 1897. That's incredibly old. But Rick knows the year is crucial here. If the weapon turns out to be from 1898 instead, it's no longer classified as antique under US law, and that could change everything. So Rick makes a smart move and calls in an expert to verify the date and condition. Now, the stakes are high. Let's see what the expert finds.
This was not the first semi-automatic pistol ever produced, but it was the one that was the most successful. But Mauser really got it about as well as you could do it for the late 19th century.
Things get really interesting once the expert steps in to examine the broom handle Mauser pistol. He's immediately intrigued, pointing out just how rare it is to find one of these in such good shape. He shares that while this model wasn't the first pistol of its kind, it was the only version to actually succeed and gain real traction. In fact, German officers used this exact model all the way into World War II. That kind of history doesn't just make it collectible, it makes it priceless to the right buyer.
Okay, so what do you think?
Okay, so you can see right here somebody stamped in a serial number, 11073, right. So now this is good news. So the 11,000 series, that means it's 1897, no question.
All right.
Next comes the moment of truth. The expert wraps up his historical breakdown and turns his attention to the most important detail, the serial number. That's what Rick was most concerned about. After checking it carefully, the expert confirms something huge. Because the number starts with 11, it means the gun is part of the 11,000 series, which was manufactured in 1897. That officially makes it an antique. With that settled, there's just one thing left to do. Test it out and see if the gun can still fire.
Okay.
All right.
So, eyes and ears.
Just so you know, he's probably not going to hit anything.
That's not true. Totally hitting it. Ready?
Now we understand why Rick insisted they meet at a firing range. It's time to put the gun to the test. The expert loads it up, and Rick jokes that he'll probably miss the target. But to everyone's surprise, especially Rick's, the expert nails not just one, but two targets in quick succession. That definitely proves the Mauser pistol is still operational. The gun might be over a century old, but it still fires like a dream. Now that it's confirmed to be functional, it's time to figure out its true market value.
All right, so what do you think it's worth?
So these are not hard to find once they're past 1898. Finding a pre-1898 one is very difficult to find. I think it's at least 7,000.
This is the part everyone's been waiting for, the expert's valuation. After testing and verifying the condition, the expert declares that the broom handle Mauser pistol is in nearly perfect shape. He also points out how rare it is to find one from the 1897 production run. Because of that, he estimates the gun's worth at a solid $7,000. The seller lights up with that number. It's definitely music to his ears. Now it's all on Rick to decide whether he's going to pay full price or make a counteroffer.
So the 9,000 is not going to happen.
All right, what can we do?
I'll give you $4,000 for it. I mean, I'm not getting rich off you.
How about about 6 grand?
No.
You just knew a price battle was coming. Once the expert exits, Rick jumps straight into negotiating. He shuts down the original $9,000 ask, saying that number is no longer on the table. The seller makes a counteroffer and asks for $6,000 instead, but Rick isn't biting. He makes it clear that 6 grand is still too high for him. The negotiation picks up steam, and you can feel the tension. Rick knows what the gun is worth, but he's also trying to get it for the best price possible. Will they find a middle ground?
4,100 bucks?
We need to definitely get a little bit higher than that. Come on, reach up a little bit.
Like 43?
45, we got a deal. Come on, 45.
We have a deal at 44.
Deal at 44.
Deal at 44. All right, sweet.
You
All
got
right.
it, man.
That was slick. Rick, the master bargainer, manages to steer the conversation just right. It almost looked like the deal might fall apart, but then he tosses out $4,000 as his offer. The seller pushes back, asking if Rick can do a bit better. After a little back and forth, they finally meet in the middle and shake hands on $4,400. All things considered, that's a pretty sweet deal for such a rare piece of history. Now let's see what other treasures walk through the door at the pawn shop.
I got this really cool pistol that I'd like to see if I can sell.
All right, it's cute.
Thank you.
Okay, do you mind if I take a look at it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's all be honest, that gun looks like it was used by dwarfs or something. Like Corey said, it's a girl gun. Now this dude is at the pawn shop looking to sell what he refers to as a cool Civil War pistol. The customer and his dad were going through some old boxes and they found the pistol in one of the boxes. He had no use for it and decided to bring it to the pawn shop to see how much money he could make from it.
This is interesting. Do you know much about it?
No, I tried to do a little research. I found that it was from the Civil War era.
Okay, so most derringers that I've seen have two barrels on top of each other that shoot independently.
Yo, $4,000 for that little gun? I do not think that is going to happen. Corey talks about the gun a little, and from all he said, the gun was actually used in the Civil War. Corey then goes on to ask the customer how much he wanted for the gun, and he said he was looking to get $4,000 for the gun. This is the first time Corey is seeing a pistol like this, and he actually has no idea what the gun is worth or if he can even sell it.
Any idea what you're looking to get out of it?
You know, I've did some research. The ranges were all over the place, but I was really thinking I can get 4,000 out of it.
I don't even know if it's worth that or it's worth more. Do you mind if I call a buddy of mine, have him come down and take a look at it?
No, that'd be great. I'd love to learn more.
News flash! That almost never happens, but let's be as optimistic as this customer. Given that Corey has no idea about the pistol's worth, he tells the customer to hang around and look at some other items while he asks his expert to come take a look at the gun. The customer hopes that the expert is going to say that the gun is worth more than $5,000. Well, let's see if his dream is going to come true.
So this is a Marston, people say select fire derringer. This is a really cool little multi-barreled pistol. This predates semi-automatic firearm. This was a mid-19th century solution to that. You get 3 shots.
I think it's safe to say that Corey was not wrong when he said that the gun was a lady's gun and that ladies actually had the gun concealed down in their stocking. It's a pretty good place to hide a gun if you ask me. The expert explains that the gun could fire just 3 rounds and it was usually used for close range and close combat. Let's see if there's more to this gun than meets the eye.
What's interesting is inside there's a series of little hands and levers and cogs that is reminiscent of sort of like a steampunk design. And they are sort of delicate pistols.
Oh, it kind of looks like a watch.
Yeah, it does.
Haha, I can't be the only one who saw the excitement on the customer's face. He smiled like Santa was about to hand him some candy. The expert opens up the gun and he explains how the gun is able to load 3 bullets into the firing pin. Corey then asks him what he thinks the gun is worth, and he says that the gun could be worth up to $2,000 if it actually works. I guess the next line of action now is to determine if the gun actually works.
All right, we're gonna shoot this thing today?
We are gonna fire it. I searched my own closet and I found a really old box of 32 rimfire.
Wow, I can't believe that he just said that those bullets are over 80 years old. Are they going to fire? Looks like we are about to find out. Corey, the expert, and the guy who brought in the gun are at the firing range and they are about to see if the gun works at all. The expert was about to bring some old bullets he has had in his collection for a while and he is ready to fire them hard.
Figured like it's a Western saloon gun, so may as well shoot some bottles.
Sounds good to me. Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
No pun intended.
He definitely felt like a cowboy while firing those rounds. The gun might be small, but it sure packs quite a ton of force. That explains why it was used in the Civil War. The expert loaded his old bullets into the pistol and fired the bullets at 3 different bottles. Guess what? They all went kaboom! Well, the expert has been able to show that the gun works. Let's see how much the expert is going to put the price at since the gun works just fine.
I think it works great.
So, what do you think it's worth?
You're looking at a 160-year-old, delicate, 3-barreled pistol, and it fired well. I hit the targets, so you really couldn't ask much more for a gun of this age. I think it's worth $2,000.
Looks like the price remains the same. The customer's dream of getting $4,000 for the gun is definitely off the table. Seeing that the gun worked pretty well, Corey asked the expert where he would fix the price for the gun, and he said given the fact that the gun is a 160-year-old delicate 3-barrel pistol and it fired well, he would still leave the price at $2,000. It's negotiation time, people.
You heard Alex. He said it would retail for $2,000. So I'd offer you $800.
What about like $1,250?
$800, man.
Ah, man, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. If 800's as good as it's gonna be, I think I'll just keep it.
All right, man. I'm always here if you change your mind, okay?
Okay, thanks, man.
Take
Sweet.
care.
That was kind of unexpected. I honestly thought Corey would be very interested in having the gun. Now, after the customer placed the price at $2,000, Corey offered the customer $800. He said that he would have to double his money on the gun, and there are so many types of the gun out in the market, and it's not hard to find. The customer asked Corey for $1,250, and Corey sticks to $800. Well, what could be the next item on the list?
So what do you got here?
It's a dinosaur hand.
Wow, this is the first time I've seen a hand in worse condition than yours. Pretty rough.
I'm here to sell some bones that I believe are a dinosaur hand.
Honestly, who even knows what something like this would go for? This lady walks into the pawn shop with what has to be one of the wildest items ever seen on the show, a dinosaur hand. Yep, you read that right. Rick and Chum are both at the counter when she drops the bomb. Naturally, their reactions are priceless. They're shocked and confused, trying to wrap their heads around how someone ends up with a dinosaur hand. It's definitely one of the strangest things to walk through those doors, and it has their curiosity fully piqued.
So where did you get it?
I used to be a caregiver, so I got it from one of the guys that I was taking care of. He used to collect bone.
Okay. Did he tell you what kind of dinosaur it was from or anything like that?
As expected, Chumlee can't resist turning the moment into a comedy show. He always manages to crack a joke even in the weirdest situations. The lady explains that she used to work as a caregiver, and one of the people she looked after was a bone collector. According to her, he never told her which dinosaur the bones belonged to. He just handed them over. Of course, Chum claims he knows for a fact that the bones are real. Rick shoots him a look and asks how he's so sure, and Chum simply replies, "Because I'm a professional." Classic Chumlee.
How much do you want for the dinosaur bones?
I was hoping to get $1,500 up.
The thing is, I have a buddy that's a paleontologist, but I talked to him the other day. He's out in the field and I'm not going to be able to get a hold of him. I'd give you $1,000.
I'll take it.
All right, will you go write her up?
Now here's where things take an unexpected turn. Rick does something he rarely does. He makes an offer before calling in an expert. He asks the woman how much she wants, and she says $1,500. Rick, realizing his usual go-to expert is out doing field work and unreachable, has to make a decision. Instead of letting the opportunity slip away, he takes a risk and offers her $1,000. She agrees, and just like that, the deal is done. But let's be honest, none of them really knows what they just bought. It's a gamble, and Rick knows it.
Yeah, we're going to call Andre.
Okay.
We'll have a conversation with him.
Well, we need to show him to Andre, so the lid at least has to be off.
Hey, man, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you doing?
Andre, what's up? It's Chumlee.
What's happening, Chumlee? How you doing, man?
Pretty good. I just been using, some tips you gave me to put together this dinosaur hand we got.
And now the real mystery begins. Rick and Chum head into the office to figure out what exactly they just paid $1,000 for. They try putting the bones together themselves, but nothing seems to make sense. After spinning in circles, they finally decide to call the expert. When they tell him what Rick did, buying a mysterious dinosaur hand without verification, he's baffled. He can't believe Rick went ahead with a deal like that blind. It's now up to him to determine whether Rick struck gold or just picked up a pile of fossil-shaped nonsense.
Man, I can't make it anytime soon. I'm swamped at the lab. We've got a ton of projects in there. Is there any chance you could come to Texas and visit the lab?
I'm free.
You know what? Why don't you guys bring it to the museum, take a look at it there, and we'll go do some digging.
At this point, Rick and Chum are fully committed, whether they like it or not. The expert, still out on fieldwork, gives them a surprising suggestion. Instead of waiting for him to return, he invites them to visit him at the museum where he works. There, he can examine the bones properly, and they can also use the chance to learn a thing or two. Rick thinks it over for a second, but Chum is already imagining himself packing a bag and heading out. It's adventure time, bone hunting style.
Welcome to Texas, guys.
Hey, what's going on? Pretty cool spot you have here.
Thank you. Welcome to my museum and lab. This is where we do all the amazing stuff putting the fossils together that we find in the field.
Soon enough, Rick and Chum arrive at the museum, and they're instantly impressed. The expert welcomes them and takes them through a massive collection of dinosaur bone fragments. It's way more than either of them expected. Rows and rows of ancient fossils, all carefully preserved. It's clear this guy is the real deal, and judging by how much he has on display, he's probably making a killing from museum visits alone. But they're not here for a tour. It's time to find out if Rick's gamble on the mystery bones was actually a smart move.
So here it is.
Well, I can tell you right off, this is really exciting. I saw it in the video when you guys called. You've got at least part of a hand, but not dinosaur.
Well, that wasn't what anyone expected. As soon as the expert sees the bones, he breaks the bad news that it's not a dinosaur hand. In fact, it's not even from the dinosaur era. He quickly explains that the shape and size of the bones don't match anything from a dinosaur. Instead, he says the bones belong to a Permian animal, something that lived millions of years before dinosaurs ever roamed the earth. Rick and Chum are completely lost at this point. Permian animal? They ask, eyebrows raised. This just got a whole lot weirder.
What is a hand like that worth?
If I was selling this piece, $5,000.
All right, sweet. It sounds like I made a good deal on it.
You definitely made a good deal. All we're missing is the arm bones.
Despite the initial confusion, things start looking up. The expert explains that even though it's not from a dinosaur, it's still a valuable piece of prehistoric history. Rick asks what it might sell for, especially since he spent $1,000 on it. The expert's answer shocks them both. He says that, in today's market, this set of bones could easily go for around $5,000. That's a huge win. Rick is thrilled, and now he's eager to find more bones. That $1,000 risk just turned into a major profit opportunity, and the digging fever officially kicks in.
All right, this is it.
Looks like a bunch of dirt and rocks.
Well, we're gonna have to take a closer look. So, the first thing we need to do is basically get our eyes adjusted to the fossils we're looking for.
You can already tell where this is going. Rick and Chum are off on another wild adventure, this time digging in the mountains for more Permian animal bones. They team up with the expert, who shows them what bone textures and colors to look for, because without his help, they wouldn't even know where to begin. It's clear they're in for a long day of exploration. They might not be trained paleontologists, but they're sure going to try their luck. One thing is certain, this won't be your average day at the pawn shop.
Andre,
What do you got?
I think I see a bite mark on this.
Dude, that's a big rib section. Yeah, that's clearly a bite mark on it.
Somebody had ribs for dinner.
Yeah. What about that?
That's a seashell, I think.
That's not a seashell. That's a lungfish tooth.
Chum is absolutely in his element. While Rick approaches the dig like a business venture, Chum's having the time of his life. He's way more excited about the adventure than the money, or at least that's what he says. During the dig, Rick ends up finding some teeth, but unfortunately, they aren't worth much. Chum, on the other hand, scores a set of bones that the expert estimates to be worth $300. He plays it cool, but you just know he's going to be back. This isn't just fun for him, it's also pretty profitable.
Is that good?
This is awesome. This is a find right here.
So, what is this worth?
20 bucks.
What about mine?
You got it $300 worth, man.